What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be playing an Omniscience deck. Let me see if I can find it somewhere down here. I know, yep, there it is. I was about to say, I know it's still doing that little bug. Nonetheless, this is a 70 card deck, in case you're wondering. We'll actually change the deck layout so you guys can see how many how many huge cards we actually have in this deck. And the reason being, for those of you who don't know what Omniscience is, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. It does cost 10 mana to get it down, but that's why we have a lot of these sort of early cards where we can get more mana out and keep ourselves sort of revitalized. Search for Azcanta. Again, my pronunciation is not the best. Nonetheless, you could definitely add in more than one copy of this card to your deck to help you search for the Omniscience, of course, and you could probably add in one more Omniscience if you really wanted to, although I feel like 2 is probably plenty. Nonetheless, you have a lot of huge cards, and we'll go back to the other deck layout view just so you can see them a little bit better. We have a lot of really huge cards. That's because obviously they don't cost anything, and if we're already buffing ourselves to try and get a lot of mana, chances that we can play them is already really high. And then of course we have a lot of card draw to get through our cards. So yeah, that's basically the premise for this deck. It is very fun to play. Obviously, if you go up against an aggro deck and they draw good, you're not gonna have a chance, just being real with you. But past that, it's a really fun deck to play. I'm not going to say that the win-loss is fantastic on it. You'll have a lot of games where you get out some of your bigger creatures and opponents just concede just because they don't have any means of dealing with it. But yeah, we'll get right into our first game here. Honestly, I hate this hand, so we'll mulligan. That's a little bit better. Start out with an Omniscience. We don't really need Slinn Voda in our hand that badly. The Omniscience is good. We'll just sort of drag it over here to the side. You guys know I like to keep my sort of key cards out to the side so I can keep an eye on them. Unfortunately, we can't play Llanowar turn 1, so we'll play the island, Hinterland, Llanowar, yada yada. This deck also has a lot of cards like Sleep and River's Rebuke. I think that's how it's said. Which give it some sort of counterplay, allows you to slow down your enemy a little bit. So yeah, we'll just play Llanowar here. And Carnage Tyrant actually shouldn't be that hard to get to. We are going up against a blue-white, actually. That's kind of surprising. I was thinking he was going to be mono blue at first. What does that give us? 5 mana? Okay, yeah. We'll play Llanowar, attack with our Llanowar that's already down, and then play Chart a Course. We do have to be careful, considering he's playing a blue-white deck. Chances that he's playing counter spells is very high. Which means we have to be careful with our Omniscience. We don't want to pay 10 mana for nothing, just to get it countered, so we'll try and play a card before it in order to sort of bluff out any counter spells, and considering we have a lot of huge cards, should be fairly easy. And that's actually enough for our Carnage Tyrant's next turn, so should be pretty good. Let's see what he does. I'm interested to see what kind of deck he's built here, because most blue-white decks that I've seen have been Artifact. But he has Siren Storm Tamer, so that doesn't really scream Artifact to me. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the Carnage Tyrant out. It can't be countered anyway, so. And next turn we'll probably just get the second Carnage Tyrant out, to be completely honest. And again, sometimes you don't even need Omniscience with this deck, a lot of the times, but it is a really fun card to play if you can play it. There's an Exclusion Mage. Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if he realizes since he's the one targeting, then he can't select Carnage Tyrant. If he had a card that said opponent returns or selects a creature to return to hand, then it would be a little bit different. Because then it's on us and we have to select it, and it can be selected by us, it just can't be selected by him. We'll go ahead and play Gift of Paradise here. Heal us back up a little bit, and we can actually swing in with our Carnage Tyrant. And it's unfortunate that we drew both Omnisciences, honestly. Generally, the reason I'm only running 2 is so that I don't draw both of them in a 70 card deck, but you know, probability, sometimes it happens. That's slightly annoying, but because we played Gift of Paradise, we should still be able to get our Carnage Tyrant down. Enchants a land, basically, and enchant a land adds 2 mana of any one color, so essentially this becomes 2 lands instead of 1. So, should make up for our lost Llanowar there. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a Carnage Tyrant. See what he plans on playing here. Nothing to really do. Does that mana carry across phases? No. No, it does not, unfortunately. So we won't be able to get our Carnage Tyrant down this turn. And we're not going to attack either, because I don't want him swinging in for that much damage. But we do have a Palaka in hand, which is nice. We can also cast that, gain back some of our life, but I think we're still going to go with a second Carnage Tyrant next turn. And he is... he is just all about returning creatures to my hand. It is slightly annoying, but I'd rather him do that than destroy him, to be completely honest. Oh wow, he's actually going to sacrifice all 3. I'm actually perfectly fine with that. It's a bold move. Especially since he only had a land, or he didn't have anything in hand. Oh wow. He must have already given up on this game, yeah. That's the only reason I see for that. There's our Palaka though, so game should be over now. Like next turn probably. Again, we didn't get to play our Omniscience, but having the huge creatures in this deck, sometimes you don't get a chance. And honestly, I can't say that's a bad thing to complain about. Scrounging for something. That's going to be GG. Alrighty, so game 1 swept up pretty swiftly. I'm not quite sure what that deck was going for there, but you know, to each their own. Got a Thorn Lieutenant, pretty good card, honestly. And we'll move on into game 3. I'm not going to do Nox's Cascade Constructed event today, as it's actually on its way out. So we're just going to do the regular games, standard, ye old faithful. And I really expected the games with this deck to take a little bit longer, as they usually do, unless you go up against an aggro, in which case it's a fairly quick one. Yeah, I mean, we can keep it. We don't really have any way to gain any health, but this will sort of help us sift through anything we may not want. Gaspark Twins helps us as well if we go up against decks with vast amounts of creatures. So we're going to go ahead and get our search down. Merfolk deck? Maybe. Probably. We're going to put that in our library. That's another mana. And we're gonna go ahead and grow from the ashes, I think. I think that's a little bit better than Divination. Let's see, draw 2 cards. Could be a creature. Could be 2 bigger creatures, in which case this would have been better anyways. That brings us to 4 or 5. You know what? I'm gonna play Divinations. Or Divination, not Divinations. I don't know why I'm adding an extra S to that. Entrancing Melody's not terrible, considering we already have 2 Hinterland Harbors, so we can actually use it. And we'll probably just take his Kumina, honestly. I'm thinking that's what we do next turn. Yeah, we'll still put it in our library. We need mana, so not gonna argue against it. Kumina costs what, 3? So go ahead and grow from the ashes this turn. I guess it doesn't really matter here. We'll put an island just because we do have fewer. We can't Entrancing Melody, so he's gonna get a little bit of damage through to us next turn, but that's alright. Pelakka sort of helps us counter a lot of this early damage as well. So that's why we do have, I think, 2 or 3 copies of Pelakka in the deck. It's actually a really good card, and even if it does get, you know, destroyed by murder or whatever it may be. Ooh, there's a Deep-Root Elite. What is that? That's 5, 6, 7. So we can play everything in hand. So I'm actually going to throw that Hinterland Harbor into the graveyard and hope for something better. Another Gaspark Twins is not better, actually. It's not. We will go ahead and play our Carnage Tyrant, though. And then we can Entrancing Melody next turn. We'll probably take his Deep-Root Elite. I feel like it has more utility in a Merfolk deck than the Kumina, even though Kumina is really strong. Deep-Root Elite has... Oh, he's not even playing Deep-Root Elite. Maybe he doesn't really quite understand Merfolk quite yet. Or... yeah, still... I don't know. I guess that could arguably be the right play, but he could still have played Silvergill after Deep-Root. That's actually unfortunate. Slinn Voda is in the deck as sort of a removal, but if we're going against Merfolk, then it doesn't really work. So I think we might just put him in the graveyard here. Hope for something better. Yeah, like another fucking land. Actually, Gaspark Twin isn't bad here, but we could go ahead and take his Deep-Root Elite before he gets too buffed up. What to do? Okay. Let's just take his Deep-Root Elite. Oh, it's... I was about to say, he's just waiting on the fucking Kumina. I am gonna... Ooh, no, I'm not. Almost made a mistake. I was about to swing in there, in which case he would have dealt me almost lethal. What is that? 4, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, it would have been 1 point away, so can't do that. But whenever we get the Gaspark Twins down, his numbers won't matter as much, as they can each defend against 2 creatures. And we'll basically just split it up to where they won't die. So like one of them can block the Jade Lot and the Merfolk, and then the Merfolk and a Silvergill or whatever combination. Let's see. Druid of the Cowl. We're already at 9 mana, so we don't... It's not like we're hurting for mana. There's River's Rebuke, which is actually really good. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to down both Gaspark Twins, then probably River's Rebuke. That'll be 21 damage to them if you can't do anything about it. So now we just defend. We don't really have to attack. We'll wait. So yeah, next turn, Gaspark Twins, River's Rebuke, and that's actually a win con for us. Excuse me about my hoarse voice. If he has the Merfolk in hand, that allows... Oh, okay, well, that's going to be GG as well. That is unfortunate. Maybe we should have Rivers Rebuke that turn. Again, I was playing a little bit more risky for the one-hit play. Probably should have played it safer there. Rivers Rebuked first, so he didn't have all those merfolk on the field. He was kind of mana screwed as well. So I guess that's actually on me for game 2. Lost there. We probably could have started out a little bit longer and probably long enough to bring it back on him, but you know, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. So not a huge fan of this hand, honestly. We'll keep it. Can't get Llanowar down until turn 2, but that's alright. Not really what I wanted there. But I think we're going to play it over the Llanowar, honestly. Playing Llanowar doesn't allow us to do anything. We'll shift our cards around here. Son of a bitch, another merfolk deck, huh? Alright, put that in our library so we can actually get the Gore Claw out next turn. And that should make getting the Mammoth out that much easier as well. Actually, I think once we get the Gore Claw out, we can get the Mammoth out because it drops him down to a 4 cost as well. So, destroy target enchantment. That's actually perfectly fine. He wants to use his turn on that. Ooh, and a Carnage Tyrant as well. So, yeah, Buddy's going to be in trouble. I think we do go Carnage Tyrant next turn. He'll probably get out 2 merfolk this turn if I had to guess about it. Having 4 mana, and I know usually the cost of them is only around 2 to 1. Yeah, so we'll probably get down the Silver Gill and probably the Jade Bearer. That's alright. No, a Mistbinder. I don't get why people ever reveal a card that they're... Well, I guess if he didn't want me to counter it, but I don't have any mana to counter it anyways, so... He shouldn't have revealed another card in his hand, if that makes sense. He should have just revealed the card that he was going to play right after his Silver Gill, so as to not show more of his hand. Nonetheless. Digress, and we'll play the Carnage Tyrant. We could swing in. What is he, a 5/4? The Silver Gill will still take him out, and that's a great trade for him, so... Not gonna blow my load too soon, so to speak. A Vanquisher's Banner on a merfolk deck. Holy shit. Alright, so now we go aggressive Mammoth. And that'll make him, what, a 8/7. He's a 5/4, so he could stop him, but they can't really stop him. I think we swing in. He has to trade, you know, one of these two here for Gore Claw, and that's perfectly fine, because then Carnage Tyrant's gonna hit him for a lot, even with the Deep-Root Elite out. Next turn we still have pressure over him, and we can also sleep next turn, which I guess we could have waited to attack and just made him sleep next turn and got the guaranteed lethal, huh? Decisions. He is going to trade here. Like I said, that's alright. Next turn we do have lethal with sleep. I doubt he has any counter spells. Actually, I don't think he could even play any counter spells. Yeah, he definitely can't now, so... That's fine, unless he has some magical way of getting rid of both of our creatures. That's going to be a quick game 3 as well. We might go ahead and play a game 4 since you guys haven't really seen, well, you've seen a decent bit of the deck, but haven't got to play Omniscience, which is the whole main point of this deck, so even though you guys can safely see where it would play into. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what he plays this turn. like how big he buffs his creatures and all that, which is a shame because he's probably feeling really good about his 7/7 Deeproot Elite right now. So, also we could just gain control of it, and yeah, that would put a pretty big depressor on him. We're not going to, because the right play here is to, okay, he's gonna what? Target that on the aggressive mammoth. Yeah. Okay, so we don't actually have lethal this turn. Cool play. Cool play. So yeah, we're actually just gonna Entrancing Melody is Deeproot Elite. I think that's the way to go because it already has a 4/4 counter, so it stays huge as fuck. We're not gonna attack, and next turn we'll sleep and you know, whoop, turning my microphone there. Same result will sort of play out. Unless he manages to sleep us this turn. No sleep. Actually, he doesn't even have the mana for it, so... Alright. That's game 3. Actually, fairly easy. So yeah, you guys can see even without playing Omniscience, this deck is rather scary. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play one more. I feel like the deck hasn't been shown off too much. In both victories, it was kind of quick. And maybe we won't go up against a Merfolk this game. Yeah, it's not a terrible starter hand. Verdant Force is only going to cost us 6 instead of 8 thanks to Core Claw, so... Fortunately, our opponent goes first. I actually prefer going first with Omniscience deck, just because I rather get to my cards before he can get to his counters. If that makes sense. Which is actually a pretty legit point. You know, you go first, you get to play a turn 2 spell that he cannot counter, because there are no 1-cost counter spells in the game. If he ever decides on his hand, that is. So yeah, we're probably just going to keep this hand. Turn 2, we'll play Search for Azcanta, whatever it is. And then turn 3, Grow from the Ashes. Turn 4, we should be able to Gore Claw because we grew from the ashes, played Grow from the Ashes, whatever you want to call it. And turn 5, we won't be able to play Verdant Force unless whenever we play Grow from the Ashes, we also draw another land. Then that'll play out. But nonetheless, actually no, I forget Verdant Forces needs 3 forests, so that won't play out. I guess with Grow from the Ashes we can pick a forest from our deck, so. But we already drew a land, so our mana curve is actually pretty good as is. And seeing a mountain starting out is not fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that now, especially since Core Claw can just get lightning struck. Huge downside to Core Claw. Also, if you wanted to add in some dive downs to this deck to sort of give your huge creatures a little bit more longevity, definitely would be able to do so. The only reason I haven't is I'm already at 70 cards, and I didn't really see any cards that I was like, yeah, I want to get rid of this one. Maybe get rid of the Core Claw, but I feel like he's pretty useful. And we got a Ghalta. Pretty good also with Core Claw. It'll bring him down 4 points for his attack, and then another 2 because he's above the 4 power, so that's taking him down 6. He only costs what, 6 after that? Yeah, so he'll cost the same as Verdant Force. Ooh, up against a Boros actually. Legion Warboss, not a card I like to see, but I guess it's alright. Charted Course. Nah, It's not really going to help us in this route that we're trying to go for right now. And what did I say? I said I needed a forest out so we could play the Verdant Force. Next turn we'll Gore Claw. Hope he doesn't have a lightning strike. It is unfortunate that we don't have any way to deal with this Legion War Boss as of right yet. This guy's just taking his merry time. Not even responding. There we go. You can tell whenever your opponent's hovering over cards and whatnot, it'll light up sort of a highlighted white. Yeah. Now he's gonna mentor one of them. He is getting in a lot of early damage, which is what Boros is good for. Oh, we can send that to the graveyard, I think. We can afford everything we have right now. Druid of the Cow is going to help us with some mana as well. But yeah, he'll go down to 6. He'll go down to 6. I think we play Verdant Force first, as it'll give us more defenders. Oh, shit. That's not good, actually. Ixalan's Binding on a Gore Claw, too. This game will probably be over fairly quickly as well. Fuck. Not something I really want to do, but I think I'm gonna have to sleep him here. If we can draw a land, we can get Verdant Force out, which will give us some defensive, especially against this asshole Legion War Boss. Also make Ghalta a hell of a lot cheaper. Bring him all the way down to only a 4 mana cost. So we're really looking for a land here. I guess a Palaka wouldn't be bad. Could we cast Palaka with what we have now? We have 7. Palaka costs 7 or 8. It's unfortunate.
Together we are unstoppable. Look how far we've come.
Nope. That's not gonna help us. That's not gonna help us either, actually. I think that's gonna be game. So we'll call it GG and concede there. But yeah, there's the downflaw. There's the downside to this deck. You go up against an aggro deck and they get even the slightest underfoot to you, and probably gonna have a really rough time coming back. Here we go. Omniscience. So just one more time, just to lay it out. I don't think there's any cards. Oh, Time of Us. Time of Us is another sort of slowdown for them. Tap target creature, they don't untap. Then you get to return all tapped creatures back to their hand. Quasi duplicate, of course, works well in any deck where you have like huge ass creatures in the blue mana. Again, oh, we only have 2 Palaka, and Palaka is 7, so that would have been actually a really good draw there. Anyways, Slinn Voda, you could probably take him out. Honestly, with how many Merfolk decks I've seen, I'm probably gonna take him out. Find something else, maybe another Palaka. Like I said, having 3 probably wouldn't be bad. Gaining the 7 life, and then whenever it dies, you draw a card as well. Relinquory Tower is in here to increase your maximum hand size, as well as Primal. Both have the same effect. And if you have a lot of high cost cards and you don't quite have Omniscience yet, it's sort of a good way to keep your hand, I guess, alive and not having to discard all of it. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like down below and comment in the comment section if you have anything you want to talk about, deck suggestions, suggestions about how I play. If you guys see anything that I misplay, point it out to me so I can, know and go back and watch myself, because I want to get better. I want to know, when to play cards and what not to do in what order, so that way I can get better. Nonetheless, oh, of course, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.